Investors are always on the lookout for innovative strategies to generate income while managing risk. One of the more intriguing options in the market is exchange traded funds. More specifically, the YieldMax MSTR Option Income Strategy ETF, known by its ticker symbol MSTY. This fund was released in February 2024, and it presents a unique opportunity by incorporating options based income strategies while also maintaining exposure to MicroStrategy, which is a company known for its significant Bitcoin holdings. This video will provide a comprehensive overview of MSTY, known as MSTY, breaking down its investment strategy, how it generates income, and the potential benefits and risks for investors. And by the end of this video, you should have a solid understanding of whether MSTY is a great investment for you. So first we have to understand that MSTY is classified as an options-based ETF, which follows a synthetic covered call strategy using MicroStrategy's stock. Now, unlike traditional covered call funds, MSTY does not actually own any shares of MSTR, but rather it holds a long call option on MSTR while selling call options to generate income. This is known as a poor man's covered call. So let's go over how a synthetic covered call actually works, which is the strategy that MSTY uses. So you first want to hold a long call option that is deep in the money. So if we head over to the options chain, we will go to a long and dated call. For this example, we'll just do a July 18 expiration date, and you want to be in the money. So it's going to be lower than the current share price. So for this example, we'll just do a 200 strike call. Now this is going to be our long synthetic position, and then they're going to be selling call options on short dated expiration dates. So for this example, we'll do a March 21st, and then we're going to do an out of the money call option. So say the 250 strike. This is what a poor man's covered call is going to look like. We're going to have this long dated call, and then every few weeks, we're going to be selling call options to create that credit. So in this case, the credit would be about $1,600. And because this fund is actively managed and they're selling call options, this is going to help generate that monthly premium, that monthly income that MSTY pays out in the form of distributions. The appeal of this approach is that it generates income irrespective of MSTR's stock movement, as long as the stock remains below the option strike prices. However, if MSTR's price does rise significantly, the profit potential is capped because the option strategy limits further upside due to our covered call strategy right here. Now we also have to understand that this is a single stock fund. So we have to also understand what MicroStrategy, the underlying, actually is. So what is MicroStrategy's role in this ETF? MicroStrategy MSTR is not just another software company, it is one of the largest corporate holders of Bitcoin. So you're getting a lot of Bitcoin exposure. This company's strategy of accumulating Bitcoin has transformed its stock into a proxy for Bitcoin price movements. This means that MSTY's performance is indirectly linked to Bitcoin's volatility, even though it doesn't hold Bitcoin directly. We have to keep that in mind. It's very important that you're very invested into Bitcoin and at the mercy of Bitcoin stock price. Now let's get to the fun stuff. So this is the dividend information for MSTY. And one of the primary reasons investors consider MSTY is its ability to generate high monthly income. As we can see, it has a dividend yield of a massive 173%, and it pays out every single month. The fund's synthetic covered call strategy produces option premiums, which are then distributed as income. So we have to keep in mind that these are not dividends, these are distributions. So they are going to be taxed at your normal ordinary income tax bracket. So it is very wise to, if you have a Roth IRA, to hold shares of MSTY in that Roth IRA, because then you're not taxed on those dividends. And as we can see, the dividend yield is way higher than normal traditional dividend stocks or ETFs, such as Coca-Cola, which pays around 4%, 5%, or even SCHD, which pays 3.5%. And that's because this is not a traditional stock. You are doing active options trading, and because of that, you are going to be paying a hefty 1% expense ratio. But this is a great way to get exposure to Bitcoin without direct ownership. For investors who want to participate in Bitcoin's price movement but are hesitant to buy cryptocurrency directly, MSTY offers an indirect way to gain Bitcoin and crypto exposure. Since MicroStrategy's stock is highly correlated with Bitcoin, MSTY also benefits from Bitcoin's price appreciation without requiring direct crypto holdings. And because Bitcoin and crypto is so volatile, MSTY is also very volatile as well, going from lows of $18 a share to highs of around $40 to $45 per share. But since it collects option premium income from covered calls, it helps create a buffer against these minor stock declines. And this income can help offset losses during market downturns, which reduces some of the volatility that typically comes with investing in MSTR, MicroStrategy stock itself. And the benefits of investing in MSTY compared to owning MSTR and doing options yourself, selling those covered calls for that income, it's all hands off. You get to sit back, relax, and enjoy the nice cash dividends distributions that are coming into your account every single month. Take a look at the dividend history. It's been ranging between the lowest has been $1.85 and the highest has been $4.40. So very volatile in terms of the dividend cash amounts. So you want to keep that in mind as well. But overall, it's seen a pretty high dividend yield, even paying out $1.85 for the month of September is still a very high yield. Now, as we mentioned earlier, you do have limited upside potential. MSTR has seen significant stock appreciation, which MSTY has not realized. That is because of those cover calls, you are limiting your upside potential. But where MSTY really shines is during flat or slightly bull markets, where it does get a little bit of upside potential, but also pays out those hefty distributions. And during bear markets, that's where MSTY really hurts because you're not only losing to stock appreciation, you're losing 1% to the fund managers at that 1% expense ratio. So if you're not familiar with options, I would probably stay away from MSTY. You want to know what exactly the fund managers are doing inside of the portfolio. You don't want to invest blindly into something you don't understand. So make sure you get familiar with how covered calls, especially synthetic covered calls, how those work. You also want to make sure that you're actually bullish on Bitcoin because this is pretty much a Bitcoin proxy. And you also want to make sure if you have any significant gains from MSTY to set aside money for taxes because these are not qualified dividends. You are going to be paying ordinary income tax on these distributions due to its option income. Now, if we take a look at the total return since inception, it was around February 2024, it's seen a total return of 151%, which is amazing for people who got in early. Now, you do want to keep in mind that for people who got in maybe in November of 2024, you are seeing 50% loss because the stock has dropped from $40 per share and it's currently around $19 per share. So it really is where you got into the stock price. But overall, since its launch, MSTY has experienced strong total returns because of those distributions, especially when you're reinvesting them. The fund income generation has provided steady cash flow, but the ETF's net asset value at $2.34 billion, it does fluctuate alongside MSTR stock price. So overall, MSTY offers a unique opportunity for high income seekers, but it comes with significant trade-offs, and you also want to understand that it has very high risk. The combination of Bitcoin exposure, options-based income generation, and volatility mitigation makes it a very attractive yet complex investment vehicle. If you're looking for an ETF that provides exceptional monthly income and indirect Bitcoin exposure, MSTY could be a great addition to your portfolio, but you don't want to go all in. You don't want to use margin. Only invest what you're willing to lose. And if you're uncomfortable with high volatility, the limited upside, and options complexities, it may be better to explore alternative covered call ETFs such as JEPQ or JEPI, JEPI, which are the JP Morgan covered call ETFs and have been known for stable stock appreciation as well as reliable monthly dividends.